So walk me through the process then. I sign up for the service, and assuming I can actually receive mail. What happens? How does it work?
So on day one, there will be the onboarding stuff, paperwork. I agree to, submit these tests and have the data shared between us and the partners. So paperwork kind of stuff. Then you'll get a link to go online and with Cognifit take the cognitive test. You'll take that cognitive test and you can choose whether you actually want to do some cognitive training or not. And there's regular cognitive training programs that can run on Cognifit, and we get about like a 50% discount that we can pass on to our people for that. But once we get the results, those results come to us. Simultaneous with that happening, you're going to get a kit mailed to you. That's going to be the microbiome and the DNA kit. So the DNA kit is going to be a cotton swab, that you'll then put in its vial and post back. The microbiome kit is going to be a slightly less attractive concept, but still not bad. A little paper thing that you can put underneath you as you're vacating, doing number one. I don't know which is number one and which is number two. Anyway. Number two. So we will scrape a little bit of that into a vial, and you'll put that in the vial, and then they're actually both postage return paid, and the special biohazard kind of labels on them. That will get mailed out. The lab will get it. The lab right now takes about 5 weeks. They're saying right now. So there's going to be some downtime there, but that's actually critical. I'll go back to why we actually like having that downtime. It's going to go to the lab. The lab is going to do the test. As soon as the test is done, you'll get an email from us. That will be the login information to the portal and to getting your results. It's going to be dynamic results. So you'll go on and you can kind of click to dig deeper on this topic, And then we then put it into our computers. Our computers are going to process and calculate how many milligrams of this, micrograms of this, milligrams of this you need. You are going to get a core supplement that is going to be based on your long-term consistent DNA and the goals that you've set. And you're going to get capsules that are focused in on the things that we see in that. Then you will actually get a special blend of a cognition. If you're, you'll get the cognition if you need it. And then you'll also get another special blend that's going to be focusing in on your biome, because those will be changing a lot. Whereas
okay, so now my dad takes double handfuls of capsules, right? Can we talk a bit about the volume of
Sure.
stuff?
So we ran through a Monte Carlo risk simulation of different profiles of people, trying to figure out what's going to be the most common, what's going to be the max. So let's talk about the max guy. This max guy, they have nutritional issues, right? They need to get pretty much a full USRDA plus a little bit of everything, right? It's sort of your worst case scenario volume wise. That will take 2.5 of the AA size capsules, not the AAA. The AAA are the ones that you choke on, right? The AA are the ones that you look at and you say, if they're still intimidating to a 10-year-old, but to an adult, they're the ones that you're most common, you're most accustomed to. So most people are going to have maybe 1.5 of them that's needed. So what we do with that extra half is we'll put through, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention acai. Acai is another ingredient that we will be putting into some things. So
berry?
Acai berry, yes.
Yeah.
We're looking at acai, or we might put in some extra calcium or some extra magnesium, depending on what the person's major needs and their goals are. But that little extra bit of calcium, that little extra bit of acai, that is not actually quite as imperative in the blend as everything else, but it is to make sure that you fill up the capsule, because you need that capsule full for shipping purposes, also for stabilization. So usually you're probably going to get 2 capsules most commonly. That's going to be your kind of core. And then you'll get one that's really cognition focused. That's going to be another AA. And then you're going to get a microbiome 1 or 2, depending on how needing you are. So,
and you take those daily, once a day?
You can take them once a day. You can take them once a day. And, we'll have some recommendations, like most of the ones with vitamins and minerals, you'll probably want to take with a meal. Your B vitamins are tricky because your body cannot naturally produce them. They're water soluble. They're the ones that really like to make a nice intense yellow urine, you know, if you take them at the wrong time. So those especially, you want to take them with a meal. The microbiome ones, you're just going to probably want to take them as early in the day as possible. And the cognition ones also, you know, are pretty good with early breakfast.
So how often do you reassay, right? So the DNA, as you said, doesn't change much, but the gut biome, that's going to change. You know, it's probably worth looking at every few months. And the cognitive stuff, that's a test you take online. You could do that every day, I guess, if you want to do. How often do you guys do that?
So the plan right now is the cognitive test should be every 3 months. And we actually plan to, once we feel a little bit more comfortable with the processes of that, actually include that in the subscription. The microbiome tests, we are hoping to be able to include that in subscription prices, like maybe do it again at the end of 6 months. That is the plan. However, that needs to get a little cheaper before we can, you know, fit that into it. But should be, like I said, your first one, once you start a microbiomatic, I think I just invented a word, microbiomatic, I like that. But a microbiomatic focused supplementation regime, you do want to take a look at that maybe 3 months in. Thereafter, you're tweaking it type timing.